Good afternoon, everyone. This is the market update for Tuesday, April 28th. And we're going to start off with XGTI because this one gave us a lot of fun towards the end of the session today. This was a trading alert for us today. Maybe early morning. Stock was slowly moving higher. There was a decent buyer on it after some body camera news that came out yesterday. The market really missed, and we saw a lot of chatter today regarding the government, again, authorizing more money for body cameras based on what's been going on in Baltimore. And we had this body camera news yesterday for XGTI. Very nice bottomed out chart, and we jumped into this puppy in the 25-cent area. Now, going into the last hour, the stock was doing its normal back trace, and we accumulated and doubled up at 25 cents. And no sooner had we done that, but a few minutes later, DGLY spiked on some news or something, and it was off to the races. All of a sudden, everyone caught on to the research we posted earlier on this one, and then boom! I mean, we were looking for a 2-3 day swing move up to the 50-day moving average at 32 cents, which was what our first target was. Stock romped up to 37 cents. I mean, you can't complain about a 40% move in under a few minutes on big time volume. The crowds found it, the robots found it, and when it comes to stocks under $2, once the robots latch on, it's off to the races, and we saw that on XGTI. Now, you know, there's a lot of chatter out there. I was looking at some tweets out there about people who missed this stock going, this is not a body camera stock, but obviously they cannot read press releases. This is actually the best kind of body camera stock there is. The news yesterday would can't remember the name of the body camera company they signed up a deal with, but essentially the layman's version is XGTI's technology allows for live streaming of body camera stocks, and that may be the next iteration of body camera things, not reviewing the data days later, but actually real-time review, especially when you see the kind of stuff that's going on right now. So fantastic move on this stock. Next breakout level would be a move through 40 cents, and then we could see that gap fill move back up to the 50-60 cent area. And we have seen many times over the last few weeks stocks down in this range that when they get this kind of size move and this kind of volume, multi-day moves are usually par for the course. So looking fantastic. Another play we jumped into today was NSPH. NSPH did a reverse split, 1 for 20, about 3 weeks ago. Since it did that reverse split, which would have had a price around $4.60 to $5, the stock, as you can see, has been in a sideways consolidation pattern. We saw a positive MACD cross today. We've got stochastics in the basement. We've got all this bird flu chatter going on right now, and from the SEC filings, NSPH actually started working with the FDA on a research program for a avian flu test. So we've got a bottomed out play, bird flu action, and really the main reason on this one, thanks to that big reverse split, there's only 4.8 million shares outstanding now on NSPH, and whenever we see these reverse split plays, they always have at least one post-reverse split monster move. So hopefully that'll happen in the next couple of days, and we've got a lot of reasons for this one to move. Nice fat downtrend break right here, around 415, 416. Volume comes in and a break through the 20-day exponential. If we actually go back to XGTI, you saw that when it broke through the 20-day, which had been resistance for many, many weeks, the stock went vertical, and we could look forward to something similar happening here on NSPH in the near term. Now, we jumped into another bird flu play yesterday, Chinese-based. They actually do vaccine research for poultry, the one actually getting infected. It's right underneath that breakout level, which is about 415, 420. If it can get a break through that one, definitely one to keep an eye on if you want to pick some shares up for a breakthrough. That probably on a press release if it does come. Very low volume play, which means small gamble play on it, but if it gets a press release, this is one that they could really take nicely higher in the coming weeks. Nice call in the chat room by a couple of traders late in the day on ISNS. You know, the body camera stocks are doing very well late in the day, and this is a low flow play that did very well when we played these stocks a few months ago. Nice break. You guys alerted it, 280 area, 280 under actually, and broke through that 200-day moving average, scooted up over 3 before it retraced into the close. But I definitely watch these stocks. When the body camera sector blasted off a few months ago, it was a multi-day move. So let's see if we see that continuation going into tomorrow. Now, SMSI, we had earnings today, and these the earnings report, there's nothing you can say, but what a great report. That was a great friggin' report from SMSI in After Hours. We learned who their new partner is. Comcast, Big Daddy, is now their partner and responsible for a 25% increase in their earnings. These guys are legit now. Break-even quarter. They expect to be slightly profitable for the year. Big, big, big for these guys. Let's see if we can get that break tomorrow through that 160 area for that chase up to the 180s, and then hopefully we'll be looking at this one as a rule of 2 play in the near term. As for our options plays, we had a couple of nice movement. Apple, that we jumped into a few days ago, 290 on those May 15 132 calls. They were up in the 100% move almost yesterday. As usual, Apple had a fantastic report, so the stock got beat over the head. But as you can see, did the exact same thing, actually almost identical candles in the last quarter, and then everyone started rushing in the next day. So let's see if we can see that continuation again. We were actually ranging some scalps in this one for nice movement intraday. There's a lot of liquidity in the options on Apple. Not a surprise given the massive volume it does. So let's see if we can continue making these call options free. Disney has been an absolute monster winner for us over the last few days. We booked some fat gains on this one yesterday. Our position should essentially be free to an extremely low cost now going into the earnings report next week. We've got Avengers releasing on Thursday everywhere, but it's already a monster overseas. And then we've got the earnings report next week. Stock did the exact same thing to 2-3 days before its earnings report, as you can see, and then it went boom. So let's see if we see a similar thing happen here again. We did have a failure on our Twitter calls, but again, like the calls we played last week, this was us being greedy and stupid and not paying attention. Our Twitter calls were actually up 50% yesterday, and we should have taken half off the table the day before earnings, which is usually what we do when we get a 50% movement. But we didn't, and earnings got leaked, and they just took it to the woodshed. So, lesson learned on that one. That was a goof up on our part. We played Disney perfectly. We did not play this one as well. So, that's it for the video tonight, guys. You know, actually, I didn't really go over the market. I forgot about that. I haven't been doing as many videos lately because there's only so often I can say that this is a buy the dip market. And today was no different. The robots are just out there triggering stops so that one set can go long and one set can go short. And every day, it's one excuse or the other. Today, we actually had bad economic data. The consumer confidence report came in lower than expectations, which is strange given the market's still at its highs. And then after the market was down about 50 or so points on it, there was a rumor that Iran had taken control of a U.S. cargo ship, and the market went splat on that. Story, not very believable. I was saying in the chat room, I didn't think it was very believable. We've got half the U.S. fleet in the Gulf, and it's hard to imagine Iranians going anywhere near a U.S. ship without getting taken out. But the tweets that said that happened got deleted later, so it's probably one set of robots manipulating things for a trade. And after that, once it got refuted, the short robots got bent over a barrel by the buy robots that come in on a daily basis. You can see here, oh, it's the end of the world. Squeeze! It's the end of the world. Squeeze! That's essentially this market now in a nutshell. Looking at the Dow daily chart, we continue to just trade in these crazy. Every day it's got to be 100, 150 point intraday moves so the robots can make their daily nut. Russell was rather weak yesterday, but a big part of that was biotechs got taken out to the woodshed. CLDN had really bad news, and that kind of beat them all over the head. But today we saw a continuation dip and dipped underneath the 50-day, and back up they went, chasing it higher. So until we see some big movements down or up in the market, it's really a fool's errand looking at some of these charts. Even trying to get in on the option plays on the indice moves we're seeing right now. The robots are front running us anyway, so it's not like we can get decent sized entries when it happens. So it's just buy the dip until it stops working in this market and it remains a stock picker's market. If there's trades, we'll do them. If there's nothing, we won't. Today was kind of a slow day, and then boom, we got essentially a 50% move almost in one play. So that's how we're going to approach the market over the next few days. That's it, guys. Any questions, shoot me an email. Feedback, BuySellShort.com. Have an awesome evening, and see you guys in the chat room tomorrow. Bye.